welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration. Today, this is not a super solid goal. This is actually caught up finally, which is nice. With the Astro 2 theoretically set up, currently I just need to troubleshoot why it's so slow, which is that I have too much of these and not enough of these. Okay. Simple issue to solve. I could just speed this up a ton, and that might be enough. That's one of the delays, but other than fixing that delay, I need to much faster back now. I need to work on the next. This thing down there. Work on the next point of progress, which is Astro 3, which will need some of this research to be finished. Need that and those to start working on Astro 3, plus the catalog. And the science pack. Those are what I need to focus. 200, 100, 50, 50, 400, 500 total. That should be hopefully pretty easy. I do, however, need to add that as a request for 20 of those. Which this should not. Wow, the junk data means it probably should be a better. It should be this sort of scenario where it should be a normal one of these, and I should deal with any junk byproducts with a storage chest. Or that's where I use an active provider. Junk. Filter that for science. The active provider there. That will help a bit. Filter that. That should be fine. I'd rather keep 2. These should supply as needed, so this should have everything it needs. It just needs. Oh, I didn't actually do that. That's silly. I knew I'd miss something like that. Easy enough fix. As long as I verify that that's the correct type of 25 degree 25. Good. I could have put this one further down and it would have looked better. Really don't need the undergrounds there. This is all waiting on that, which is waiting on oil, which is something that I need to address here. Because this is supplied there, which is supplied here. Which means that should not be out of oil. Which means it's an issue with my delivery cannons? Or I'm out of heat shielding. That was... It really isn't unexpected. It's been a very long time since I've done anything for the heat shielding crafting. It's kind of just been my default. Like, it's with my production for this tier of rocket, which was not a high drain. For now, I can probably... That is going up, which means I want to copy here. That is not good. There are many flaws with this. I don't think there's space for beacons. Yeah, this was not designed with beacons in mind. I could adjust it to beacon a little bit. Oh, hello. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, that was not the wrong move. Yes, it was. That was weird. Okay. Now if I shift stuff around, I can... B2s are good enough for now. Now I'm short on those, because this has not been improved in a long time. Okay, it needs more bricks, which is limited by stone, which is it's a known mess, but it is confusing? Oh, it's not confusing. This is a like yellow belt, which it really shouldn't be. That explains why that's bad. Feels like there might be... Oh, the rest is fine. That split... It's getting up to here, now it's caught up, so now it's as slow as it was before. I guess I need to improve my stone. This can probably be done with a train. Start shifting the production of tablets elsewhere. Stone. Tablets. I don't want to adjust heat shielding production yet, because that's better to leave till I have iridium shipping. Not crazy far off. Not a good... The beacon should have been further down, but... I really didn't lay this out well. But it lasted for a very long time, so... Looks like what I need to address here is really stone input is lacking. Let's fold these that I'm tracking here. heat shielding. I did not expect that to be the biggest sticking point. Very surprising to me. That's mostly just because I completely forgot about the draw for heat shielding here, because there's only one per cannon. Might be keeping up. I guess the real step is... No, this is restricted by the stone, so better furnaces don't help. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a hard limitation that shouldn't be there. Want to do this. So that will help. It'll take a little bit because this is an absolute mess. Feeding it into my pre-existing system when I connected that stone. That is significantly better. That bugs me. This can be addressed in a bit. Yeah, I'll probably just make a new processing place out in the middle of nowhere with a train. Oh. Okay, that's not there anymore. I have to keep an eye on that a little bit. Make sure stuff doesn't come from a surprise angle. I'll have to manually clear that. I'm glad that I didn't forget. Definitely didn't forget. Be careful of getting shot while I fly by these places. Little hordes just sort of still surviving. I might just die if I get shot in the middle of the ocean with my jetpack, I don't know. That's the more important zone. Just need to take out the nests. That's a straight line of behemoth worms. Quite dangerous. Railgun's very nice to just sort of have. I think everything else should be fine. Good. It's a nightmare forest. So many worms just popping up to shoot me. Okay, check base. Stuff's moving. Because the oil is seemingly being supplied sufficiently, I shouldn't do this in the middle of nowhere. I should make sure I'm somewhere safe. These are running full speed. These are not, which is not surprising, because I'm not requesting the right catalogs. Oh, I need to turn off the, these guys. I'm gonna leave them how they are for now. Probably break them eventually. But leave them for now. And that's being fed in by that. That should be important, because now this will be more efficient when I was not actually doing that properly. Yes, filtering out specifically those into the active is the correct choice, I think. There's a catalog, that's the... This needs to be restricted. Short on broad catalogs. Astronomics are fine and should be restricted more than this. So now the broad ones are owned by microwave. Microwave is that, which is being requested not here? No, it is being requested. I guess it's just the slowest? But it is being made, which is I'm moving it up here. These are being crafted. This is restricted by the broad astronomics. Either something's wrong. Broad astronomics 2 and 8, 2 and 8. I do have too many of these placed. Why did I put down 3? It shouldn't break anything, but I don't know why. Gonna temporarily turn off the top 2. This one's super sped up, so it's fine. Broad astronomic, each of those, 6 of those should produce enough of those. Are some of these not running? No, they're all running. The last 10 minutes. I'm making about 60 per minute, which is not accurate. Last minute, I'm making 90 per minute, which is close enough to what I should be making. And considering the 5.7 to 6 is probably the correct amount. I guess this is just how slow 20 per minute is while it's filling up the first time. 0.7, 0.6, 0.6. I guess 0.3 out of 6 over is a lot less than 0.4 out of 1, which is why it's so much slower relative. There's no reason to do 2. Might as well leave it with 1. Request buffer, that should not be overly limited, though that should be filtered to not grab those. And this should be a passive provider. Limited that one. That's much better. One should be fine there. Should work. I need to be more careful with how I set these up. You know, that's the only thing that I can pull out. Oh, I also need to pull scrap. Which means I need to adjust this, pull that, and scrap. Let's have a default, but we need scrap as well. Lots of stuff that I missed. The easiest is to copy that, blacklist it. We're well under the broad astronomics, I think. It's actually 5.6 per minute, which is quite slow. I'm at half that, so it's still under producing. Which, am I fully utilizing my bots? That might be why. Nope, I still have 60 available, so they're underutilized. Sort of. I don't know. Saying microwave observation, 0 in logistics storage. These must be going somewhere else that I'm forgetting about. Microwave it should only be used here. Oh, I bet it's because I'm... Yes, it's probably because I just defaulted to those, which is not the right choice. I bet sometimes they try to send it to the wrong places or something. If not, then I don't know why it's so slow. But the research is progressing, and I can set up the aeroframe scaffolds that I then need to ship to space. But I'm gonna craft on Novus. The train can't go faster than me. Which, I wonder if nuclear fuel would help with that. Make them travel faster than I am. I don't think so. Okay. These are kind of slow to charge, but I think that's just how they work. Are the delivery cannons keeping up now? Yes, they are. Good. Good, good, good. So, my beryllium's probably getting low. I think if I launch it now, this will maybe get me to what I need. But I should also consider making different landing pads for beryllium and all these materials to automate this instead of just doing it manually every few hours. The airframe bulkhead is later because that's post Science Pack 3. I'm gonna do one zone discovery just to sort of see what happens. Should be pretty quick. Yeah, still fine, but I need to worry about that. this is working. I probably need a little more heat shielding. That can wait for iridium. So, telescope data analysis discovered a new planet. Presumably around a different star? Ranelin is 70,000. And totally useless. But it's around Penthus, which is a it's Y. There. A different star somewhere. Kind of neat. Oh, there. Kind of neat. Kind of useless right now. No point doing any more of that. Which is what I expected. This is not launching because this is full. This is full because it is not reading this properly. I forgot to connect it. Whoops. And that's a fairly major issue. Yes, now this is gonna have way more airframe poles than I needed. With no space to put them. I hope that I have enough storage to fulfill all of my current requirements. I should have enough. If I temporarily disable the filters and just move everything. I can't believe I forgot to connect all three of those. It's been a fairly major resource drain. That's goofy. Oh, yep, I need to not have that happen. I definitely need to not use an active provider. Just sort of was copying what I had everywhere. That was silly. This does not look like it's synced up properly, so I definitely have to deal with it in a different way, which is a shame. It's fine. Everything here looks fine. I have a ton of that. I just need to set up the next set of things I need to craft, which are 3 radio telescopes. 3 of them. Radio, which I will not be able to craft until I ship up aeroframe stuff. Still not empty. It is empty. It just launched. Okay. So I could do more of this. for the aeroframe stuff. I think I have to remove that. Short term to sort of easily scale this up. We need a lot of stuff for my scaffold. I kinda wish space platform scaffolds had an alt recipe that used aeroframe scaffold. It'd be interesting. Oh. Okay, so I need 108 airframe scaffold per minute, which is not a lot. If I productivity, can't do that one out in a different point of view. A lot more productivity than I thought I'd have. Okay. My productivity beacon. It produces 0.08 per second. Doesn't look quite right. Does that not calculate if it doesn't have power? No, it does. Okay. No, it doesn't. Interesting. So if neither has power, I guess it makes sense that it doesn't account for the beacon that's unpowered, but does obviously account for the stuff within its inventory. Everything, modules and stuff, because if it was powered it would do that, but if it was powered this wouldn't do that yet. 0.74 per second, which is about 0.75, which would be 45 per minute, which means I need at least 3, and since I need at least 3, I should probably do 4 because that's a nicer number. So, I think I just do this for now. Do the inputs on one side, outputs on the other. That'll be scale both of these up. That will produce enough scaffolds that I should be able to supply the research amount needed by a fair bit over the necessary. I'll have to get cryonite slush to ship to space, which will need another set of these. How do I want to do this? Putting this power like this is a really bad idea. I really should have spaced it differently, but all 3 oils, each at a different location. Maybe I just leave this running how it is and start making a new one that's a little bit better planned. So that it will actually... Okay, we need space above. If I take this, run power there, then I probably want it to be about there. It will work smoothly. This is good. Heavy oil does need to be processed a little more, but it's currently fine. fine. I don't really need all that, but this will be able to go a little to the right. It won't be able to go far because it's already limited in space, but don't really need it to go very far in the foreseeable future. This gets in our way, but this needs to adjust for something. What is this going to be launching? This is Ryanite. Very purple for a very blue item. For now, I'll put it to there. I can adjust and just do... Oh, yes! I have no reason to be doing it this way anymore, because the reason it was that way was that it was... The original was limited by the fact that I only had a limited supply of chests. Now I don't have those, and it's much better. Wonderful. Orbit, this is gonna need a new target. Payload empty. That off for now. So that will need to launch here for the production of gamma ray detectors. Gamma ray detectors are only used in observation frames, so those will need to be placed appropriately. So I can't plan too much about that, because where everything's going to go is far from decided. This is where the delivery cannons will be launched from, which will work. Make sure it doesn't somehow get loaded, so that's fine there. I'm now out of beryllium. I'm just gonna launch this manually. I need to deal with that, but I continue to delay until I actually have Spaceship to go there and back less painfully. Though an inefficient cargo rocket isn't actually that painful anymore. It's just annoying. Hold it for me. It's in another area entirely, so I can ignore that. So, this production has improved. That is still overfull on the things I over-requested. Those will be there for a while, which will be a problem. Which was my own fault. How is it going here? Science 2 is way under what it should be. Which means there is definitely an issue. Which is not... I was worried that at one point this would not produce enough. I'm not worrying about it at all, but that's definitely not the issue. So something is causing a problem. Am I off on this number? This is 0.25. It should be 1.5 per second. Which 60 times 1.5 should be 90. Which the math all makes sense. Am I not moving them properly? those should be going here. The observation data. That's not supposed to be sped up because obviously it's undersupplied, so if it was sped up it wouldn't go any faster. Am I not? No, I am grabbing from all of these. Why is it seemingly so slow? Everything else seems to be totally fine, which is good at least. Observation frames are full because this is full, that makes sense. I should be producing 90 observation frames per minute, which should be producing a little over 11. Yeah, but 75% of 11 data. 7 to 8 data per minute. There's the math here. Thing. 8 data per minute. I'm getting... I think I should be getting about the right amount of data per minute. 7.5 is a little low, but both of those numbers look right. Then it's the broad... It must be that because this math doesn't account for the drain of broad catalogs, for the other... Broad catalogs aren't used there. It does account for the drain there. The insight gets used. The insights... I guess it could be that it's not accounting for the drain from additional insight use from the first zone. The easy solution is... just speed all that up and it should be fine, I hope. I don't actually need to speed this up, that's probably unnecessary. But more than double the production of this should mean more than double the production of this. Yeah, 0.7 per second is more than 40 a minute, or it's around 40 a minute. I think as long as I control that, it should be fine. I'm assuming that's the issue, because I didn't do the factory planner thing accounting for Science Pack 1 production, which, if I used the multiple levels, would not be that hard. But at this point, it's messy. So Science 3, I need 3 radio telescopes. I already have... Those are all auto-crafting. I just need radio telescopes, 2 laser facilities, 2 gravimetrics, or not. Rather only need 1 of these. Yeah, 1 gamma ray. One radio telescope, which is probably inaccurate because of other drains. If I do 2 fully sped up like this, it should be fine. Maybe speed these up extra. So that should be plenty. None of that should be painful. It's just going to be figuring out how to lay it out. It's going to be awful. Do I have my beryllium? Yes, I do. I need to compare my beryllium So I consume about 70 per minute. Except it stopped for a bit, it's about 100 per minute. My planet here produces half that, even when it sometimes tanks, so I need to speed that up a lot, because that will not keep up. I'm fine with these overfilling a bit. I do, however, need to manually ship up a bunch. Get stuff crafted. There's a lot of beryllium. That should be enough to craft various components. So, these need to be shipped to space. No, 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 no. The plates, are those already shipped to space? If they are, then that's fine. I might just need the scaffold in space. Do I have beryllium here. A lot of beryllium ingots there. Am I requesting them specifically? Yes, I am. And those are being converted here. I think I do need to add beryllium, but it's basically just one more ingot. So, add section 20x space science 3. Turn off for a minute. Airframes are 108, and it's 1 beryllium ingot, which is pretty painless. Now it'll draw all of these airframe scaffolds in, and it will be a problem, but I should probably just turn this down. I have so much stuff that really should not be here. It's not going to launch manually or automatically. I can let that sit for a bit. That's worth researching. Really a very sad science tier. It's like, that's it for solo Astro of this tier. A scaffold, a use for the scaffold, and the stuff for the next tier of science. But it's the next tier after that that it's really good. The Nexus is 344. Interesting. Not relevant at all yet. I need to make sure not too much of that goes up. But I also should, completely unrelated, so I don't know why I said but. I need to make sure I have more of these in space. I've never used that. I should probably ship up the landing pads, because that might help with my current issue. I should probably spend some time, make a new landing pad up here, be up there, and then distribute items. Putting it up there would actually be really bad because it would make everything take a little bit longer. I was planning for the bot mall to go up, but Oh, no, it has to go up, because I want to do science down here. Yeah, this has to go up. Could move the solar panels. A bit. Figure out how this will copy. I think it's basically that will copy horizontally. The vertical won't really work. If I move that there and I move a vertical vertically flip up to here. That's not right. Let's go here. I could clear up a bunch of space in the center there. Ooh, it did not flip vertically because I did not copy a good section. Or I just didn't place one row of these. Oh, one of these is too close together. This row there is not correct. And because that row is not correct, this is unable to reach. Very silly. That can't be fixed now, but I basically have to rip out a bunch of this stuff. Probably just accept that that should be there. And then I'll be able to copy that sort of space. Where do I want to copy? Oh, this is not a good... This is not a good methodology, but I think this to there would be fine. Just it has issues with the width of the pre-existing section. But if I just pretend that pre-existing section will get ripped out, then I'm fine. So now I'm going to eat up a bunch of multispectral mirrors, which is its own issue. I need more steel input, which is good because I have a lot of steel there. This needs to request from the buffer chest though, which it does. This is prioritizing other stuff first, which is fine. I think I need a bigger requester though. Up, copy. Then I can do that and just feed it faster so that I am able to speed this up. Too fast. That seems like it's fast enough. Almost 4 meters per second. It's gonna occupy a lot of bots while it fills up. Actually, that's a good amount. This is fine. This might be limited by scaffold, which is not particularly surprising. Okay, the science seems to be kind of okay. These are dead on the normal space science because the normal space science is out of belts because I rotated that. Fair enough. A lot more of those. I lost track of that. I'll have that craft faster when I need it. Should be fine now. We'll just fill up these for a bit. I guess I can continue researching safety after this. I'm at almost 10 levels of reusability, which is 40% increase, which means 60% recovered. I guess actually, if I focus reusability first, it's kind of better because it has a set limit. If I get it to 100%, it's great. Because then it basically will just be recycling the parts, so it won't need to constantly burn them. Actually, that gets really expensive. It's not gonna be there anytime soon. Doubles, there's 10 more. I don't know 2 to the power of 10 off the top of my head. There might be 2 to the power of 9. I don't think so though. Calculator 2. 2, the power of 10. 1024 times 1024. That doesn't seem right. I feel like I did that wrong. Anyway, it's a lot. Oh no, that is correct. It's gonna be times 2 times 2. Yeah. A lot of research needed to max that. And at maybe 20-ish research per minute, that's probably a little higher than that. It's not very quick. Did I ever upgrade these? I did good. Oh, it's my box. Bots are very fine. This is still totally full though, which is a very big issue. Just have too many of these rocket parts. Because I guess if I have a launch... No, I don't. I only have a landing pad. I need to send up a launch pad. Rocket satellite, that's what they're called. I don't have a bunch of extras. I send those up, and I can finally deal with that a bit. Where will I deal with that? I have no idea. But start laying claim to some of this ground. Like, rip it all up, the upper section can get built faster. And I can relay it as needed to deal with landing pads. It's gonna look very odd for a little while. I think that group can stay. Wait, no, I can't. I need to clear that. Okay. So that's there. I can probably start... Well, this is working. I can start designing the basics of Astro 3 operating with this. That's what I have to work with. This is in a goofy spot. I'm thinking I'll probably try to put the other science production nearby, though. So, Astro 3. The science pack itself is crafted with minus 100 degrees, which is the same as that, so putting it near there would not be too bad. It's a little awkward. I should probably, if I move this up, I could run the pipe underneath and connect to both, which might be better. Which is a plan. The supercomputers are similar, but need to be minus 273. The 273 is this. So I have space to the left. I could basically copy that over here and do the supercomputers there. The radio telescopes need to feed into one astrometrics facility. And they are fed with... everything here minus 273. If it is... okay, everything but the astrometrics analysis, which is old, and the final step. But everything else is minus 273, which is good. That's one fluid... honestly, output different fluid temperatures. No, one fluid temper in, one fluid out is much simpler. This astrometrics analysis is minus 100 still. It doesn't change. Perfect. So, basic level. This will be the new catalog. This will be the new insight recipe. Both of which should really be simple enough. That can all go down probably to there. If not, I could feed it in the top, which might actually be easier given that I already have those there that were unneeded, but were part of a bad initial design that I forgot to remove. Comprehensive astronomic insights. Need to make sure the requester's updated, otherwise I will forget. Except the requester doesn't account for the modules that will be in it, so I'll have to set that up again, but that's fine. Although I don't actually need any modules because for both, the astronomic catalog actually does need a fairly large amount. Guess a non-issue for now. Where are they angry? They're angry here. Okay. They will not be angry for long. clear these worms a bit. Letting them linger kind of leaves the map messy. Just spam a bunch. We'll clip them. Ooh, it's actually 3 hits to kill these worms. It's a lot. That might not have been a behemoth worm. They were probably fine. This swarm and that swarm I can get later because they have... Well, this one has trees. That one's fine. This one will probably need to be addressed soon-ish. But that group's gone. Except for that worm. Alright, back to space. Did they... Oh, I never did set this up because I was waiting for them to clear the solar panels themselves. Oh, that's a weird double tap. This should help. I hate how the power's connected and not there, but that's fine. Almost at a gigawatt. Not quite. This will give me a lot of space to put a new landing pad, feeding into active providers, and then I probably want the 2x2 storage chests, which I am not crafting. 2x2 or... Those seem like a good middle ground in my mind. I can put a bunch of storage chests in blocks that I'll get fed to instead of trying to do buffer chests. But currently, this is running, limited by that. My production is probably a little bit below what it should be still. Ooh. This thermofluid's full. Is that something that I can do anything about? I guess I might want to control this output. Read contents, enable if thermo fluid -10. Yeah, if thermofluid -10 is less than... This is probably going to cause a lot of issues. So I'm going to have to manage that more carefully, I expect. But worst case, I can just kind of maneuver tanks around. Because this will cause this... It probably has messed with... I guess this is going to mess with the equilibrium. If this gets too low, there'll be a lot more of this. I guess as long as I have tanks, the imbalance should manage itself. But I'll have to make sure that I pay attention to this. The It's not needed because there's plenty of that thermofluid. But why is it short on iron? Do I not have any requests for iron? No, I should. I just am not sending iron down to this requester chest. Why? Because iron doesn't exist. There's no iron here, which means there's iron somewhere that is not logistically enabled, that is limiting the requests being sent out. No, it is requesting 900 iron. That's correct. Which is all in here now. Fill up reasonably. This is still full of aeroframe scaffolds because I goofed a lot. That's a huge waste of beryllium. Do I have any of the... I do not. Oh wait, no, it is not that. They're called something else. They're called strong boxes and warehouses and weird names. Okay, I want a storage strong box that will temporarily exist for that. Entirely to get this out of here. Which is my mistake. I really need the rocket to get up here so that I can get stuff to launch rockets back down. Get rid of some of these rocket parts. I have way too many. And I have too many of these sitting around doing nothing because I shouldn't have had them going into the storage in the first place. But I'm limited on my ability to fix this until I can get a rocket up into the area. Buffer chest for now. Stacked to 200, which is 96. 9.6k. Which won't cause problems if I leave that there. That's a bad idea. Fine for now. I need to make sure I clear that out soon. It's all connected. I can't tell if that is wired together. Visually, I think it is. Just need to get these aeroframe poles out of here. Add them to this for a minute. These the same? They are. This is out of the way. I can finally get. I should probably take some of these out. I don't think I need as many as is currently requested. And not fill up all my space with aeroframe poles. How's my cryonite? Very funny to me that the cryonite and the Vulcan have been completely fine for a very long time. Very happy with my setups for those specific resources. Beryllium is underwhelming, but that's underwhelming for other reasons. Why update those? Ooh, those are still speed 1s. Ooh. It says a lot about when I built those. And that's still the copper planet. That is messed up. Why? I definitely would have held shift when placing that. But I must not have for some reason. Or maybe saving... No, I definitely held shift. Saving definitely messed with this on some degree. Like, over the ghosts to replace stuff, I must have either done something or saving. At some point something changed. Oh, that's very funny to me, the radar there. But the iron being empty is not funny. What is wrong with my iron? Yes, my iron's not supplying here at all. Because this train is stopped. That should never happen. I'm trying to go to the refuel. The refuel stopped because it's trying to go to the drop-off, but the drop-off is full. I guess I just need to add a new refuel stop. 1 or 2 more refuel stops would mitigate this happening. Temporarily, I'm gonna ship them to the depot, hope this doesn't break anything. Hope that it's still set to temporary. Nope, it goes to fluid pickup. That's kind of funny. Where's it going? It's going to the right fit pickup at least. Okay. So that's gonna fix the iron. That's a flaw that has not arisen yet. But it's not going to the refuel. Why? Because it got a different train jumped the line? Or is this guy just stuck forever? I have to keep an eye on this because this... Adding more refuel stops is probably all I need to do to mitigate this happening. Because if there's 3 stops, there need to be 3 trains that are stuck like that for this to happen. Why? Okay, he did leave. This guy is actually... Okay, it's just very slow to react. Okay. That's a flaw in the system to be addressed. I guess not allowing interrupting interrupts would help. Not really set up in a robust way to add another stop. Quite limited. I will need to address that in the future. Future which is not today. Oh, has this been crafted? Nope. Well, I also don't have radars up there, probably. Why? Oh, because it's still not full. More radars, which need more iron. Is the iron fine now? It is. Okay, so that just... if I address that, I'm fine. This is still a yellow belt. Because... it is very low demand. Which is fine, it's just weird. This has never been improved from blue sewing machines. Okay. So, I'm going to try to run this here. I'm going to put a splitter there. Run this basically bare minimum. That inserter's inside of a tree. That's surprising. Really didn't think that was possible. Should work. Signals. That's long enough. Good. Fortunate. Maybe I shift it back a little. Cut this, move it back a bit. Adjust the... adjust the mess there. Did I place that too far up? I did, didn't I? Oh, it's not gonna work with the... there. There, doesn't matter. And let me not have to do absolutely insane loop just to connect to that. Really necessary? No, because shift is... I'm not pressing control, that's why. Okay. Oh, goodness. Limited by that. That's funny. It's a funny time. Okay, split that. Do. Fine. Very ugly. That is a refuel stop, train limit 1, priority 50. Increase that priority a little. This would be fine now. People on the ground are going to bother me. That should help mitigate that happening again. It's a funny way stuff fall apart. how's the iron? The iron should be fine. I really do like this. This like drive-through area. It's kind of fun. But that's fine. It should be already loading again, so that's extra fine. The bot exploded there. It's not particularly surprising. Everything about that says, ooh. I don't know if this actually handles itself very well, or if I do need to keep an eye on that stone. I think it's fine because I have this stone drop off, so if this one fills up, that one fills up, then I'm fine anyway. I just need to keep an eye on this. Wait, how's the... Okay. It would travel soon. Yeah, I'll let it go automatically, it should be fine. Just need to make sure this is prioritized, which it should be, over this one. Good. This one just exists to exist. Though, I have emptied the first of these chests that was partially full. That's fine. This still has a ton of telemetry. I can go back to designing in space. So, I've got these two steps. I probably speed boost this, at least with a beacon. Oops, cancel. If I beacon both of those, I only need one of each. I need 0.04 of a supercomputer for the insights for this, which probably might be a problem still, so I'll need to make sure that I overdo other things a little bit. Okay, if it's one, it should be fine. I can do 2 of these just because it will look better. 2 radio telescopes. They need to be filled with this type of liquid. What do they output? Same temp, so I can output and connect to that. So having it nearby is good. Yes, I'm gonna feed it up top. So 1, 2. Goes further up though, so that I can actually run the pipe in a straight line. Blam, blam. And this will connect to here. This will connect to there. I need to pay attention to that when I copy it up. I'll have to be careful. That'll connect. So those are the 2 radio telescopes. The radio telescopes need inputs of blank observations, and that's it. Which means the input and output is very simple if I just use chests. But I could place the astrometrics like that. Use an again, undergrounded space is very funny. Oops, that's not right. If I can put this to there, direct input that, which is probably not helpful, but this will request those and be input like that. In theory, that's the radio wave observation. That needs another requester. I to actually set the recipe. That's set there. Remove that. Bigger buffer, request from buffer. That's one component. This will need, I'll need to remember to change that to the multispectral. Astrometrics is all the same name, it's just a different number. Number 3. 20 seconds, 10 seconds. It takes twice as long to get... Is it always the same amount per second? It's always the same amount per second. Okay. It's just less drain on each individual data, which is still good, depending on design. Boom, boom. Then the gamma needs me to craft the gamma ray detectors. The observation frames are the usual astrometrics. The gamma ray telescope is cooling, gamma ray detector, and that. The gamma ray detector is made in a manufactory, which I should really just do this instead of finding one to copy it. This will need to be made. What button did I push there? Gamma ray detector. That needs flush and orange. I have some of that over there, but that's not even remotely accessible. I could pipe it from here. I think producing more is unnecessary because I have plenty of chemical gel production. It will look really silly to run a pipe all the way around down to there. That will definitely be better than running it from over here. I could just copy what I have here. Oh, but no, if I copy this, I still need the water, so I'd still be running a pipe all the way over, so it's probably best to just run a pipe down and over from there and just feed it from the top. If I'm feeding it from the top, probably best not to build it down there. So that should go up here somewhere. So this, I put that further left so that I can put that science here so that I can just feed it more easily. I'll move it closer, but temporary. That's where that will need to be produced, which is 1.1 per minute. That's so incredibly slow. I'm definitely just moving it with bots. Bot request, bot request. Okay, so the gamma ray telescope is easy. Pretty sure I could just do that. Only issue is it's probably better to put it there for piping. Looks kind of bad positioned like that. So I may move it so that it goes there instead, but for now, layout is less important. It can be improved. I need to remember that I need the requester chest and 2 output chests. One that's passive provider, one that's active provider. Oh wait, no. Yeah, scrap and gamma ray. So I need that. Active is the garbage. That one's good. That'll be fine. That does not need to be sped up. Then a new laser and a new gravimetrics to craft the various pre-existing components. which can kind of just go wherever. Except laser needs cooling, so that can't just go wherever. That does need to be positioned. Probably not like this, but it's fine for now. That's gravitational lensing and negative pressure. Negative pressure is that one. But in terms of things that I've placed down, this is down, this is down, that down, 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 down. I think everything is down. That's really small. So that's up there. Those are beside each other. Those are together there. Gamma ray. Oh, I don't have a gamma ray. That needs to actually exist somewhere. Do I want that to be directly output? Move that over. Just directly output. Oh, that's the input, not the output. That's the removal. Just directly output that. This can move over a bit. And I need to copy that again. And I need the alternate version. Boom, boom, bada ba. Fine. Things that I want sped up are these, which I did coincidentally leave space for. Zero intention behind that. The gravimetrics and the laser facilities could go down here and piggyback off of the beacon. I didn't leave space for the beacon. That's easy to fix. Yeah, instead of putting that there, I'll just run more wire, more pipes. Oops. For the output, because I think a bunch more pipes is, it looks worse, but it is still better than another beacon. Not that, well, the modules for the beacon. The beacon's cheap. And I can rotate it to preserve a little. I could even use that is clearly designed to be that range. That's fun. Okay. Doodle-doo, that's the correct temperatures. These will need their inputs and outputs, which will basically just be that. And that. This will need to adjust the requests. Output's fine. Output's fine. This junk. And data broken. Wait, does one have broken data? No, only this one. Interesting. So that's the gravity. It only has junk. Cool. That removes those, and I need to make sure that I blacklist those. Into passive provider, active provider. Resters are fine. So, those are both there. They're all beacon. Those beacon. I need to set up a beacon here, which really just means moving that, I think, and adjusting to fit a beacon there. that's not gonna work with that. There. This won't work without changes. I can just move that there, that's way easier. I don't want to accidentally hit that. That definitely hits there. Move the whole thing over. I can't. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. One extra pipe length is not a problem yet. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if it became one. Requesters output, that is the passive provider, active provider. I need to... Why does that exist? It's just not the correct thing at all. Why does this have... Oh, okay. The insight recipes are different than I thought. That has the waste blank data, the other ones don't. Okay, that makes sense, I think. I just should have actually checked. There is no waste data on that. Nor is there waste data on that. Cool. So those are going full speed. This is going a little short on supercooled because the supply isn't designed for the increased speed there. It can be somewhat addressed with speed modules going from 12.9 to a higher number when the bots do this eventually. 12.9 to 20.9 will help. I expect a reasonable chance it doesn't do enough, but that's not a problem right now. I will have to address that potentially for the next one. Which would mean figuring out something in this messy area, but there's space, so that's fine. So, a check before I copy this over. I have my radio wave. I have my gamma ray. I have the negative pressure and dark matter. Negative pressure, dark matter. Yes. That is on the right. That is up above, but not. I haven't placed chests for it. And everything else is theoretically okay. This will need to be adjusted. I could do the lazy thing. I really feel like being lazy, but move that just so it's not in the way. Just space to move that upward. I have plenty. Now, temporarily, I should clear this, cut that, move it up to there. Cut those, move them up, and run that, which can also mean I can rotate that, which will make this output pretty good. A little off, but I'm gonna leave it how it is for now. So that will be adjusted. Then I can just move those over. That'll be fine. This will need outputs of various types. That, the data, or the science pack, the input. The input is there. Might as well rotate that. That's not going to be there anymore. Move that a little further apart because it looks better, I think. And I can just... That's not going to be right. I'm going to have to move this to match the movement up. Otherwise I will copy and paste it wrong. It's not needed. Beyond... that. Keep in mind that that's going to run like that, which is not going to look great. This I can leave kind of grouped there, but the next tier of science pack also uses -100, which I think means I probably should leave space for that. I copy that, put it there. I should plan this around having that space, which lines up fine. It doesn't extend too far left. Slush is easy. It is just being dealt with via drop. It's not drop pod, it's delivery cannon. Delivery cannon chests. I will need to set up controls for this. Which will be a bit of a mess, I expect. I'm gonna feed that into this signal transmitter, which would not be too much of a problem. I'd have to connect this receiver down to here though. Or no, I could set this to Novus Orbit and just read that. That's fine. I need to copy that. I'll copy the newer one just in case I change something. And that goes into the ghost first. So, this is reading the barrels, which means that that should go there. Just gonna input. I'll deal with the wiring once I have a better idea of this. Already a problem. That's gonna have to be adjusted, but that's fine. I'll just have to move this over a bunch. So that's there. This is gonna just be a pipe connected up top somewhere. I'm gonna make this really obvious for myself that it needs to be connected. Okay, so granite, delivery cannon. I need an output for the garbage. I could move this. No, I'd have to move it that way. That there. Which doesn't actually change how much it hangs out. It goes just as far. But if I move that, it makes it more compact. Slightly. That was 3x3. That will feed that. This needs to be switched to Cryonite Slush, outputting Cryonite, fill Cryonite Slush, which will need to be adjusted on Novus, but that's fine for now, though I do need to get filling barrels for that. I have sulfuric acid right here. I could actually put this near here. Cryonite. And this will be the cryonite. Oh no, the slush is probably in a chemical. I am making an assumption. Cryonite slush. That will need cryonite rods added. Probably best rotated. Oops, wrong one. Clustering for just in case it matters. I have basically no reason to productivity this. I have no reason not to. Such a low demand. Might as well just get as much out of it as I can. So that will ship just fine to space. Actually, if I check this, this is 2.4 of every data. This is 0.4, which will reduce the drain on all the previous tiers. Which still might not be enough to account for the changes to insight, but with it should be fine. So, there's the barrels gradually filling up. Oh, those are very slow. It'll be fine. I'm glad I set that up now instead of delaying. But this will read a... Is it red, probably? Yes, that would be a red wire that will feed from here. I'll do that one. There's that, which I can connect once it's ready. That will control the multispectral launches to there, which I can't set until it's actually in the correct location. Okay, I'm gonna delete that because I don't need it yet. I might as well leave it though. It's just a building being placed down. I think I should be okay to copy this up. Okay, I can't copy that up. If I don't want to, I could, but that looks weird, but it's fine. Copy that half and keep an eye on what is changing. Oh, hello again. Welcome back, I guess. That's not right. Couple to the left. There. No, one more. So now I should be able to, hopefully, put my Astro 3 in place. I don't trust it, though. Not gonna break anything, but On the off chance I'm misjudging, I'm gonna save so I can just reload if somehow it breaks everything. I have to adjust how I'm running the fluid pipes up here. I think I might as well leave it there. So, this is probably going to have many issues that I overlooked, like the fact that I'm not actually powering any of this. I always forget to run power. Just complete disregard for the fact that all of these buildings need power to run. So, with this connected, or once this is connected, if I have the scaffolds, which I do not, it will start building my... I forgot I wanted to finish these being built first. Which is limited by radars right now. Not really the ideal sticking point to have. Hopefully I sent enough up. I'm gonna send a couple of reports back. So, this should be built. That's done. Both of those are ready. I need gravimetrics, laser, and gamma ray. Grab the metrics. Gravimetrics limit to 1. Okay, this looks fine. It's really overfilling these. I wish it didn't. Please build without causing pain. Internet seems to have died. Dead internet. Might be recovering. Nope. Everything froze. Oh, it's not my internet. Maybe it's my internet? I don't know. It's definitely my end on some point. But it might... Oh no, yes, I'm unrelated. It is... Is my internet dying? Or is it my connection to other stuff that's dying? I can check by looking up something on the internet. Okay, it's not my general internet that's dead. It's just the connection to YouTube, I guess, that's dead. And it might be fine again. Weird. It's been a while. Well, it's only at 800. But it's green. Don't know. I mean, it generally recovers after a little bit when it does this. Obviously, knock on wood. Okay, it might be back. Nope, not back. If I pay attention to it, it will look like it's back and then not be back. I will keep dealing with my janky micromanaging. Laser's being built gamma while hoping that it recovers. Gamma. I do that wrong every time. Still not recovered. I have no idea what's causing this issue. Oh wow, that's really dead. Claiming the stream is healthy, which is not accurate. death spread actually went low. I don't know why it died. Ooh, wow, that's not good. Well, if it continues for another minute, I guess I just stop. Because if it doesn't recover while I'm doing this, then it won't recover probably. Do I not have roboports? I do not. Well, it does not look like it's recovering. So, probably best to, while it's here. A bit unfortunate, given that it actually looks like it's the science will work once I have the roboports to connect the stuff. Oh, no, this is connected. Comprehensive astronomics not crafting because this can't craft. So actually not power. But yeah, I will stop. Because my unless after I say I stop it's fine again. No. Looks like it's going back down. Yes, it's dead. I stop. Well, it's been a while since that happened. I don't know if this is actually getting through, but the stream died because internet died, connection died. Who knows? Have a nice night, day.